Most AI apps are not failing because the model is dumb. They are failing because it cannot see the right data at the right moment.
That is the problem RAG tries to solve. RAG stands for retrieval-augmented generation. In plain English, it means you first fetch relevant information, then ask the model to answer using that information.
So this is not about making the model smarter. It is about giving it access.
Exactly. A language model has broad patterns from training, but your company handbook, product catalog, legal docs, support tickets, or codebase are not magically in its head.
Which means if I ask it about my pricing policy, it may sound confident and still be wrong.
Right. Picture a support bot for a SaaS product. Without retrieval, it may invent a refund rule. With RAG, it searches the current policy page, pulls the relevant section, and answers from that source.
That sounds almost too obvious. Why does it matter so much?
Because the difference is not cosmetic. It changes who can trust the system. If answers touch money, legal terms, medical guidance, internal process, or live product details, stale guesses are expensive.
So, the winners are not the teams with the flashiest demo. They are the teams that can point to the source.
Yes, RAG matters because it gives the model a way to use fresh, private, and specific information without retraining it every time your data changes.
Let us slow down there. A lot of programmers hear retraining and assume that is the real solution.
Common misunderstanding. RAG is not the same as training or fine-tuning. Fine-tuning changes how a model behaves. RAG changes what information it sees for one request.
Give me a concrete contrast.
Say you run an internal assistant for engineers. If the goal is to answer questions about the latest runbook, incident history, and deployment docs, RAG fits well. Those documents change often. You want live lookup, not a retrain every week.
And fine-tuning would be more about style, format, or repeated behavior.
Exactly. For example, you might fine-tune a model to write in your support voice, but use RAG to feed it the latest knowledge base article before it answers.
So when should a programmer reach for RAG first?
Use it when the answer depends on information outside the model, especially if that information is current, private, large, or too detailed to fit in a prompt by hand.
Examples.
Internal company search, customer support over docs, question answering over contracts, coding assistance over your repo, chat over research papers, or a sales assistant that uses the latest product specs instead of last quarter's memory.
And when should you not use it?
Do not use RAG if the task is mostly reasoning, transformation, or generation, and does not depend on external facts. If you want the model to rewrite text, summarize one known input, classify logs, or generate test cases, retrieval may add complexity without helping.
So, RAG is powerful, but it is not a magic layer you sprinkle on every app.
Exactly. Bad retrieval gives bad answers with extra confidence. If your search step pulls the wrong chunk, the model will often build a neat-sounding response on top of the wrong evidence.
That is the quiet danger, right? People hear grounded in data and think solved.
Yes. And here is a real scenario. Imagine an HR assistant searching policy documents. If chunking is poor or access control is sloppy, it might retrieve an outdated leave policy, or even a document the employee should not see. That is not just a bug. That is an organizational risk.
So the hard part is not just the model. It is retrieval quality, permissions, freshness, and whether the system can cite where the answer came from.
That is the engineering view. Good RAG means good indexing, good search, clean document chunks, source tracking, and evaluation. The model is only one piece of the pipeline.
Which flips the power dynamic a bit. Suddenly, the team with the clean data and sane systems can beat the team with the biggest model budget.
Completely. RAG rewards teams that know their information, keep it current, and design for trust. It turns AI from a guessing machine into a system that can answer with receipts.
So, if you are new to AI, the big shift is this. Stop asking only, which model should I use?
Ask, what does the model need to look up? How will it find it? And can I verify the answer? In practical AI, the system that can fetch the truth beats the system that only sounds smart.